question on that. Professor Ali Barawi already gave a kind of introduction of what IKN is going to be. Most of the information we already have been provided during the last 2 days. But Professor Ali was actually focusing on the smart aspects of all the technology that will be implemented at IKN in terms of smart city. So there's a blueprint that can be downloaded from the website. So I think that could be quite interesting for us to see whether we can have more time to read through the blueprint of the smart city. But it, of course, relates to water management, energy, smart buildings. There's also apps, so I understand it can already be downloaded from Google Play. And I especially was, for me, it was interesting to see there will be a Nusantara knowledge hub in which industry, education, research, and government will collaborate together on the development of the more technical aspects of IKN. There's also already a program, Reset Nusantara. We already heard this several times during this conference. And I think that for the academics amongst us, that could be quite interesting to know more about this K-Hub. And it already includes international and domestic partnerships, both from higher education and research, as also from the industry. Thank you very much, Stefan and Professor Ali juga for providing us with some insights. And I would like to open up for question and answer. Unfortunately, I cannot see whether are there any questions in the chat, so if somebody at some point can maybe whisper in my ear if there's any question on the chat. But maybe I would like to start with a question to Professor Stefan, specifically about the rebels. I like the word rebels, but you actually say if you have a problem, you should not go to the usual suspects, the specialists, but you should also include people that really can think out of the box. Could you give an example, for instance, in your line of work where that really helped getting those people in your project and then coming up with some innovative solutions? Basically, does the theory also work in practice? Thank you. Please.
Yeah, thanks. Is of course a very good question, and yeah, for sure we don't have the answer for everything in that regard, but yeah, we have some experience. For instance, already when we look at TU Delft as an institution, we try to combine these worlds of science, technology, and design already. So that's like a first step in that direction. And then sometimes on a more local scale, maybe on the faculty level, we try to establish the rebels model. So for instance, when we talk about water management issues, then the usual suspects are of course the civil engineers in order to address the issue. But what if you would involve, for instance, an artist to give a kind of different impression on how you can do it? Or what if you ask the civilians, the people living there, on how they perceive actually water problems and how you can address that? And actually, especially also in Rotterdam South, where there's also a lot of minorities, for instance, some of our scholars really experiment with that kind of views. And then also it requires, let's say, alternative ways on representations of reality, because experts are usually really used to kind of technical documents, maps, drawings. But many people cannot read maps at all, or they have different ways of communicating. So in that field you see sometimes very interesting and outcomes which are very unexpected. And then you come to the conclusion that that let's say other disciplines, other stakeholders have very much insight, but then from their perspective. So it would be very, strange and dumb not to include that. So in a way it sounds very obvious, but yeah, as we organize scientific disciplines and how we organize our organizations, also our funding streams, we still see that this is very difficult to organize. So, or you need to have a deliberate choice. Sometimes at universities they make this choice. For instance, when you look at Monterrey Tech in Mexico, they have this special program where they just invite, let's say, the best professors in a field, and they put them together and they say, yeah, you can decide your research program, but they're forced to collaborate together. And then, for instance, a landscape architect is connected to someone with AI, or with an ecologist, or with a filmmaker, or with a dance specialist, or with a top chef, to say, okay, how can we work with local products, and how can we really make high-end a la carte restaurants out of that. And yeah, that's very interesting. And yeah, it's also a kind of testing ground. So maybe 80% of the research is not delivering, yeah, let's say, the real results, but it offers a kind of good experimentation fields. And the results coming out from that, these other 20%, are really successful because they provide a kind of different perspective to things, really innovative, and really to help to push the boundaries of what we want to achieve.
Thank you very much. Hearing you talk about this kind of approach, I'm just thinking back on the presentation of Prof. Ali about the Knowledge Hub. And I'm not sure, Prof. Ali, I hope you're still listening, because I would like to also address you with a question about the Knowledge Hub. I see in the Knowledge Hub basically the knowledge institutions, the companies, and the research institutions in which we also are mentioned actually. But does the Knowledge Hub also provide this type of approach in terms of inviting maybe community-related centers or NGOs or artists? Can they also participate in the Knowledge Hub to also have this kind of transdisciplinary approach of problem solving? Professor Ali, do you have any opinion on that, if you are online? Oh, okay, yeah. So, a question to be answered in the near future, hopefully before 2045. Because my personal opinion is that the approach of technology is quite impressive, but besides the skills center, I miss a bit the human approach and touch in all of this. But again, that could be open for later discussions. I would like also, of course, invite you here in the room if you have any questions, but I think it can only be addressed to Mr. Stefan. You can also ask me a question, but I cannot guarantee give you a good answer.
Thank you so much. Question, this is too loud, no? It's okay, okay. I'm too loud, I think. So the question is for both, but of course Stefan is here, so Professor Stefan is here. So when we talk about interdisciplinary collaboration, and I saw your very cute and dynamic graphs with the tribal leader and the engineer and etc. So it reminded me of a brilliant panel that I attended today, panel 3, and our colleague from Landesa, the NGO in Indonesia, discussing how to whom we talk is important. We think indigenous communities also, that there's different levels of discrimination also, you know, and exclusion. So we always tend to talk to the same people. And also the fact that when you enter dialogue, not every stakeholder has the same decision-making power. So we have to reflect on the type of spaces for dialogue and what kind of stakeholders they sort of promote or, you know, what stakeholders feel more comfortable than others, and how does that affect the work the people do together? Like the space first, in the terms of the dialogue, I think, and what do you think? Do you have any reflections to do with that, or have you ever thought about that? I'm sure yes, but how will you connect to that?
It's exciting. I have to walk back, and he can think about the answer.
Yeah, I think it's an essential question. And again, so we're also trying, so we do our best. But like you said, I think creating the right conditions is of utmost importance, so that you really try to become equals whenever that's possible. So that you provide a kind of safe space, allowing people to speak out and to give their opinion. And that's, I think, very difficult, because we are usually, it's kind of path dependency, so it's grown like that, and you have a leader, you have this hierarchy, you have the experts telling you what to do. So you need to take time in order to enable people to build this trust basis. So that's what I learned, even also across experts, because you're there like islands and you know your stuff the best in the world, usually, because therefore you're at that position. But then you are forced to think out of the box. Yeah, but then you have also a kind of problem, because I think they don't know the concept. So it's ingrained in their system to maybe work like that. So they probably don't understand the way that you need to organize it like that. Yeah, but let's say the actions we undertake will affect their lives dramatically. So therefore it's important to make them aware that this is also a way to, how to say, shape their future. So that's also, I think, a very important element. It's not only for the sake of us that we need to involve them and that we can check the box and we can do it better, something like that. Yeah, but I think what's very interesting is that you can also ask them what they think it's important to take into account or to research further, whatever. And that's also like this dialogue. So you can propose something and then you say, okay, what do you think, or what's your perspective? Maybe in different words, maybe in using different media, whatever. But when you get into that process, then you get really this interaction you need. And in any collaboration, you also need to look for common grounds first, because otherwise collaboration is not possible. And what my experience is in research country, let's put it like that, is that we are really good at our job, but really bad at collaboration. It's like, of course, when you are on the same page, it's not so difficult. And usually we are friendly, and that's not the problem. But really collaborate, really think out of the box, really having this exchange. That's another chapter, let alone that we have to collaborate with disciplines which we don't know of. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but you need to start somewhere, is it right? But where would you start then? So you go there and then you say, yeah, we want to have a talk because of, I don't know. The first response will be, oh, there you have the experts, so they want something from me. Yeah, so it takes time. But also the consciousness that you need to approach this in a different way, and that you need some time, and sometimes just try out and also fail. Because I think that's also very important in a responsive situation, or this adaptive capacity we always talk about, is that you also need to dare to do the experiment, to do something new, and then maybe also fail, and to learn from that. So it's also very important to acknowledge that together right in the beginning of the process. So that you just say, okay, yeah, this is an experimentation field, so actually you don't know what the result will be. And likely you will learn so much from that. So therefore also this kind of digital technology can play a role, because when you come up with a certain solution, then you can also start to monitor if it really works like that. So then it's not only a kind of gimmick, we do something with digital technology or something, No, then it becomes really a tool in that kind of iteration loop you want to have. And again, it sounds like the ideal world, but yeah, hey, this is the way on how we simplify the world in order to get a grip on it. But when this is the intention, yeah, then you're already a step ahead. And you can do that in a modern Western society like that, and that's already quite difficult to do so. But you can also do it in this context. Yeah, sure. And we have the knowledge, we have the equipment, so no problem. We have the brains, no problem. But it is like different ways of working. Yeah.
Very interesting dialogue. Thank you, Stefan. Any other questions? Yes, please. I guess for Stefan, yeah.
It is not off the hook yet, sorry. Stefan, you just mentioned common ground, and I'm wondering if there is any, really. So it's a dangerous proposition. I'm wondering actually whether we have to come to their ground, literally, whether we have to go to them rather than expect them to come to us, to our offices or auditoria or whatever. My feeling is that the phenomenology of the situation can be intimidating. I've seen it in my practice as a planner. When you invite the citizens and, participation and so on, they come to these offices and then they freeze. It doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm wondering whether the experts and the professionals and the academics from this knowledge hub have to get out of their offices and their labs and often go out there. Would you like to comment?
Yeah, you pointed out very clearly. That's the way how it goes. So you have to go out there, find their grounds, and then to see if you can start a discussion or a dialogue. So not like a one-way conversation, but a dialogue.
Maybe we need to feel uncomfortable on their ground a little bit.
Yeah, sure. It's also for us tricky. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But that's the whole thing. And also what I experienced, at least in in the cases I worked on, even in the Western Dutch kind of modern situation, if you like, it's very, frightening. Because you have a kind of certain way of working, and then you have to do it in a different way. But I can tell you, whenever you take the step, then something the reward is big. And I think also in this case, so maybe it takes some extra effort to get it like that. But in the end, you will, maybe it takes longer than you expect. But in the end, you will have a big gain by doing that.
Thank you.
And maybe one more note on, let's say, finding common grounds. In the beginning, I also thought, yeah. So it's sometimes you use the same words, but you mean something completely different. So therefore, finding common grounds is also to talk about what do you mean actually. And then probably, when you use a different word, maybe you mean exactly the same, but you use a different word for that. And at least in the experience, I don't have worked with, let's say, indigenous people here, so I don't know. But in my case, it is like, in the end, you come to the conclusion that you have for 80% kind of overlapping interests, which is the outcome of that discussion. And then you have a good ground to talk further and to see on how you can take the next step. It's also about language.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will give the mic back. If there is any other question. Okay. Well, I think in terms of the dialogue that we just had about common grounds and about how to approach the more abstract methodology in reality. In the past 2 days, I heard over and over again that IKN is a living lab. And I think living means it's organic. It's not like set before. And it means also that if you have a living lab, you also can make mistakes. And I always think that you learn more from mistakes than from things that are going well. So I think in terms of what we're doing, in terms of research, all the things that we have discussed in all the panels, and things that we're going to do together with IKN, there will be some projects that will fail. some things, ambitions that we cannot meet, and I think that's not wrong. It's wrong if everything goes south, but I mean, certain things will not go as we wish because we don't find the common ground, or we cannot actually engage with, the community. And I think that's a learning experience. So I don't think everything should go smooth, but I hope that my moderation was smooth. But if not, I apologize for maybe any mistakes I made. Okay. Thank you very much. I will ask a raise from my university. Well, thank you for participation in what, of course, was the last seminar of this conference. So I thank you for your stamina, keeping being around and asking questions. I hope the conference was fruitful, everybody, and of course this is not the end, this is just the beginning. It was the first one actually on International Forest Cities, so I think there will be more interactions in the future. Before it seems that I'm officially closing it, I'm not. I will give back to the MC. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to close this momentous event, it is my honor to announce that the first international conference on Forest City has officially concluded. Today's really has been filled with enriching discussion, insightful presentation, and invaluable networking opportunities centered around the theme of restoring tropical forests and biocultural diversity in urban and peri-urban area. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our speakers, panelists, and participants for their active engagement and enthusiasm. Your contribution have made this conference resounding success. Well, our next agenda, due to the health problem, we are supposed to invite Professor Rudianto Amirta, the Dean of the Forestry Faculty at Mulawarman University, but he unfortunately couldn't join us today. We send our best wishes for his speedy recovery and hope to see him in the future events. Yet to provide us closing remarks, we are privileged to have us Ibu Mirna Savitri, the Deputy of Environment and Natural Resources. Please join me welcoming Ibu Mirna Savitri to the stage.
Yes, finally. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, again, on behalf of Otorita IKN, and if I may say that also Mulawarman University, I would like to express our gratitude for all of you that are very energetic and also enthusiastic in involved in the discussion, in the debate, and also in the networking. This conference is the first for us at OIKN, the first probably for Indonesia. Yeah, but I again with Pamarik that this is not the last. We have a commitment to continue, facilitating this kind of meeting. And then I would like to invite also a new collaborator for the next conference in order to make us can gather again and discuss again. It's a very rare opportunity for us actually to meet with a wonderful person like you. For me personally, it's like it's like intellectual healing, because every day I need to deal with another stuff that is far away from the discussion that we are having for the last 2 days. So again, thank you very much. Also for all panel coordinators, you are very wonderful in, you know, in the very short time, you can select the hundreds of abstract that coming to us. And again, I really appreciate that. For all organizations that together with us being partners of this conference, I also would like to express our thanks. And then one of the important things for us is also to talk with you about the continuations of this conference. And then this seminar really, you know, provide us with the insight about what kind of research that we need to think of, and also what kind of a collaboration that we need to develop. Speaking about the research agenda, Professor Ali Brawi already listed about our needs. But besides that, actually, if you look at the theme of the topics of the 8 panels in the discussion, that is our needs. So in terms of the forest city, that is our needs. That we want your assistance, we want your advice, what should we do? And I think as a government agency, we are among the few government agencies that opened this opportunity to invite everybody to, you know, to advise us. Because we understand that building this new city is not just our task. It's you know, it's the task of everybody that have concern about it. Why? Because this is a big opportunity to, you know, to implement our dream. We opened our area and also our authority to together with you to, you know, to develop a kind of change to make a better civilization, better environment. And then the last that I also want to use this opportunity to share with you that we have a lot of works to do, and then the future of IKN is not us, the chairman, the vice chairman, and the deputies. We are too old actually, and then the future of IKN is our younger staff. So please invest on them if you want to see the change of this, again, civilization and environment. So I really open to discuss with you about what kind of activities that we can develop together to enhance their capacity and capability to be the future leader of OIKN. I think that's all that I would like to say at this moment. Again, thank you very much for your participation, for your patience also, because we know that in the last 2 days there are several things that need to be resolved technically, etc. We learn about that. We want to do the evaluation, but I think that you can forgive us for this, you know, something that maybe not very comfortable in terms of the technicality. I think that's all that I can share to close this conference. If you want to go back to your city, to your country, safe travel, and we do hope that we can meet again soon. I don't know where, perhaps in Indonesia or perhaps somewhere. Thank you very much.
We would like to ask Ibu Mirna to stay on the stage to give some certificate for the coordinator panel. All right, thank you very much, Ibu Mirna, for your dedication to the sustainable environment in Kalimantan. Well, before we officially close, we have a special moment to recognize outstanding contribution to our conference. We would also to extend our heartfelt thanks. To the crucial role in organizing and moderating the session. Your efforts has significantly contributed to the success of this conference. Well, I would like to invite those who are still here as the coordinator panel. The first one, Dr. Rahmat Budiwijaya as HUT MSc from Mulawarman University as coordinator panel. Please come forward to the stage. The second, Dr. Insinyur Tri Mulyani Sunar Harum, ST, from Gadjah Mada University. Online, okay. The third one, Professor Dr. Esti Handayani Hardi, SPSI MSI, from Mulawarman University as coordinator panel. The fourth, Professor Mangku Purnomo, SPMSI PhD, from Brawijaya University as coordinator panel. The next, Bapak Juliarta Bramansa Otai Mangka as coordinator panel. The next one, Dr. Phil Imam Ardianto from University of Indonesia as coordinator panel from online. And then we move to Bapak Rukuh Setiadi PhD from Diponegoro University as coordinator panel online. And then last, Dr. Insinyur Rinexo Sukmadi, MSc FTROP from IPB University as coordinator panel online. Okay. I would like Ibu Mirna to give the certificate from as the coordinator panel. All right, thank you very much. I want you to give applause once again to those contributors for this seminar in International Conference on Forest City. Right, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ibu. You may have a seat. Well, I am also pleased to announce the winners of the Best Abstract Awards. These awards celebrate exceptional research and innovative ideas that align with our conference theme. Well, most of the abstract come from the online, so let me read from the third winner from the Best Abstract or presenters. The third one from Afif Taufikul Hakim with the title of The Role of Vegetation for Preventing Erosion at Nipah-Nipah Beach, Penajam Pasir Utara, near Ibu Kota Negara or IKN. The second one, Faza Iza Mahes, Fahira Aziza, Fadila Hana, with the title of Cultural and Practical Analysis of Plant Resource Utilization Lesson Learned from Mentawir Indigenous Wisdom. And the first one, Ibrahim Sumardi, Endro Setiawan, Saryono, Wahyudin, with the title of Abstract Camera Traps in the Canopy Studying Proboscis Monkey at their Sleeping Areas, Trees. For those who got the placard will be sent, so I would like you to give us your address to Mbak Anggi, of course, so we can send your placard and the certificate. Ada yang okay. Oh, we have one, Bapak Afif Taufikul Hakim. We would like to invite Ibu Mirna to give the best speaker, presenter, and abstract. With the title of The Role of Vegetation for Preventing Erosion at Nipah-Nipah Beach, Penajam Pasir Utara. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude, it is important to acknowledge the tremendous support and collaboration from our partners. This conference would not have been possible without the collective effort from Otorita IKN, Mulawarman University, Universitas Indonesia, Brawijaya University, Institut Teknologi Bandung, Universitas Gadjah Mada, IPB University, Leiden University, Delft University of Technology, Erasmus University Rotterdam, ASEAN Development Bank, Mangka, and Landesa. Well, thank you for your unwavering commitment and partnership. Together, we have laid a strong foundation and future collaboration and advancement in sustainable urban development. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the first International Conference of Forest City. We look forward to seeing you, maybe the second International Conference on Forest City next year. Once again, for your participation and support, have a safe journey and wonderful evening. Goodbye, see you again at the second ICSC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening.
Nusantara Capital City is a city of the future that has the concept of a sustainable forest city. Nusantara will be built to be a forest city, in harmony with nature. 25% of the IKN area for smart city infrastructure development, most of which uses monoculture plantation forests and not natural forests, and with a target of 65% of the area as a protected area. It will be returned to Kalimantan's tropical rainforest, created from the results of reforestation. This nature conservation transformation is realized through forest rehabilitation and preservation of existing ecosystems. Nusantara Capital City's forest will be a point where residents and visitors can live in harmony with nature and can discover Indonesia's biodiversity. The land cover in the IKN area previously consisted of industrial forest plantations producing paper, palm oil plantations, mining, ponds, and etc., which tended to produce negative impacts on the environment. That's why IKN is here, not just to move the capital city, but also to restore the environment that has been damaged and protect what has been repaired. Until now, the authority of Nusantara Capital City, in collaboration with various parties, has carried out reforestation of 1413 hectares by the following data like this. Not only that, this year there will be plans for replanting in forests, rehabilitation by various parties. These efforts are our steps in accelerating the restoration of Kalimantan's tropical rainforests in IKN. Let's make the Nusantara Capital City a more sustainable, inclusive forest city. World Cities for All.